Hey there, sweet peas. I felt drawn to do an interesting reading today. Ravioli felt like coming out. And I had this feeling that Lilith had a message. I recently got this new deck, Lilith, Queen of the Night Oracle Grimoire. And the very first card is the Snake, Transformation. I accept the power of transformation and shed the old skin to become my true self. Get this little man to come back over here. He is an exploratory little man. This is Ravioli the Hognose. He's going to help me out today. Right, Betty? All right. Normally I would have pulled the cards already, but I don't know. For some reason I felt like I needed to do this today, you know, in this particular way. So let's see what comes out. All right. I gotta keep an eye on Ravioli too. Where you going, buddy? Where you going? All right, let's see. All right. Intuitive insight. Trust your gut feelings to lead you to the solution. Align with the answer. Wild instincts. Trust the feelings that guide you to greater things. All right. Let's see. Actually, let me move this over here real quick and get this little monkey back. Where do you think you're going, bud? You are not climbing the curtains today. No, you are not. You are not climbing the curtains. Let's see here. Life is a balance of holding on and letting go. Stay steady. Go with the flow. Do the right thing. Open your hands if you want to be held. Reach out. Welcome love. Let yourself receive. Love is the bridge between you and everything. Connection, oneness, finding your way forward. Messages or guidance today. Messages or guidance today. So we have share wisdom, destruction, and speak truth. Lastly, let's see, the tarot. Messages. Okay, so we have the Moon, the Six of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay. So when we're talking about transformation, again, the snake, You accept the power of transformation and shed the old skin to become your true self. So in this particular instance, I feel like you're being pushed to follow your instincts because you have intuitive insight and wild instincts, and both of those things talk about using your gut, your understanding of self, you know, that feeling that can't necessarily be explained, to understand who you truly are and what it is you're supposed to be doing. If there is a transformation that you have been trying to achieve within yourself, then you're being guided to stop thinking about it so much and listen to your intuition, listen to your gut. You know, you're being guided to trust your feelings that guide you to greater things. So next we have life is a balance of holding on and letting go. Open your hands if you want to be held, and love is the bridge between you and everything. So what this is telling me is that you may be holding back in some fashion. You are not really allowing yourself to shed the skin and become who it is you want to be. You may actually be holding on to feelings of not being enough, to holding on to something that is blocking relationships. So if you have this feeling like, I am not enough, I am not a good person, I am not worthy of this, you know, whatever it is, you're holding on to something that isn't serving you. Because if you want to actually have these friendships, these relationships, this love between yourself and another or others, then, you know, there are certain things that you should be holding on to and other things that you shouldn't. You're putting up blockages that are preventing you from being able to achieve. Oh, sorry, hold on. I got this little guy trying to do a runner. Come here, bud. Silly man. So, you know, if you have this feeling like there's something that you want, there's something that you feel that you need in your life with regards to relationships, love, or just having more balance with friendships, or even in the workplace, whatever it is, you know, it's putting up a wall. It's putting up a wall that you need to, you know, listen to your instincts, and don't, you know, bring it down if the person is dangerous. Obviously, if you know that there's something about them. This right here kind of makes me feel a little like there's somebody who's wearing a mask, you know. If you know that that's a problem, then obviously trust your gut about it. But at the same time, it feels like you're playing things very close to the chest, because the next card is share wisdom. So you're being guided to share what you know. You're being guided to speak truth. I feel like whatever this wall is that we were talking about, that's what this destruction is about. You know, where this mask, this need to hold back, the block that you're putting between you and others. So then, you know, you take a look here and we have the next card is the moon. So the moon is a reference to what we know intuitively. It's about the dark side of who we are as a person, and our intuition and the subconscious and all of the things that drive our intuition. So, you know, if you take a look, the woman here is looking up at the moon. She is confronting it. She is finding an understanding, a light in the darkness. And I feel like that is something that you also need to explore. You know, maybe you do your best work at night, perhaps part of what you need to do, because I'm seeing also, you know, a lot of these cards have stars in them. There's actually, I don't know if you can see this, but there's little stars in the background in that card. You know, the wolf here is howling at the moon. There it is again. We've got a moon right here, you know, and then the backgrounds of all of these cards, with the exception of the last two here, seem to have something to do with the night, you know. So there's something here, I think, that would be beneficial for you to do your workings at night. Maybe that's the best time, the quietest time, the most appropriate time for you to step back and find yourself, you know, if that's the time where you have the least interruptions, you know, and the most opportunity to have quiet time, have thinking time, have meditation time. I think that would be beneficial for you. If you're looking to explore this, if you really want to achieve that transformation, if you really want to open yourself up to these relationships, then I think that would be very beneficial for you. So the next card is the Six of Cups, and you can see, you know, it's such a sweet card. It's very giving. There's a lot of love there. You see, you know, the kids are sharing flowers and fruit. What's neat about this particular deck is this is the Tarot of the Divine, and each one of these cards has an inspiration in a fairy tale. So I'll get to that in just a moment. We'll take a look at what it says in here about that. But it's a very sweet and giving energy, and I feel very much that it ties in to this card here. Love is the bridge between you and everything. Connection, oneness, finding your way forward. I think that this is really speaking to me about, you know, just finding that giving nature within yourself. The sharing that's being talked about here. I think that there's something really sweet and really giving there. And if you look at the Nine of Pentacles, it's kind of the same thing. This guy is very pleased with how things are going. With he has enough. He is giving. He is content, I think. But there's still another step here. There's the Ten of Pentacles, where you achieve the fullness of having like your family, your household in order. Everything is coming together. Everything is coming up roses. So there's still a little more to go there, but it does feel overall like what you're being advised to do in terms of transforming is listen more to your gut and be more willing to let people in. That's the long and short of it. But let's see if there's anything in the stories here that we should be looking at here. Let Ravioli go do his thing for a second here. Let's see. Okay. So the moon is talking about Princess Kaguya, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, from a Japanese fairy tale. The moon is the subconscious and all its illusions, potential pitfalls, and the possibility of self-deception. Here, two tanukis, shape-shifting raccoon-like animals, and you can see them right here, each stare at a different moon, though it is not clear which is the real one. So that's referring to the moon here and the reflection of the moon. So that's really interesting. And then I have a separate book that goes into the story. So I thought there would be a little bit more in this guidebook about it, but I guess not. But we can still take a look here. And so you can spend some time looking up more information about each of these if you feel moved to do so. So the Six of Cups is about the Snow Queen, which is from Denmark. It's a Danish fairy tale. The Six of Cups evokes a nostalgia for sweeter times. Kai and Gerda are best friends as children, but when Kai is struck with depression, he leaves with the Snow Queen. Through many adventures, Gerda saves him, but by then, innocence is gone. How interesting. All right, and then we have the Nine of Coins. And that is the legend of the watermelon, which originates from Vietnam. It's a Vietnamese legend. The Nine of Coins represents success. Hard work and patience have resulted in a successful harvest, and now even the Emperor enjoys my Antiem's watermelons. The road was long and hard, but the reward's well worth the effort. So, again, you know, I think that you're being advised that if you put in the work, you're really going to see an incredible transformation within yourself and within the relationships that you're trying to cultivate. I think it'll be hugely successful for you as long as you actually put in the work. And that is what Ravioli and I have for you. I hope that this was helpful, and see you in the next reading.